based on the research that we've done, and as well as Gartner and Morgan Stanley, cloud is at that 20% inflection point on the S-curve. And so we are about to embark on a tremendous growth spur for the cloud environment. And that's why we're so excited, and we've been working for quite a few years for this opportunity that's in front of us. And realizing, in which we'll get into in a minute, how much opportunity we have, it's one reason why we decided that in order to scale, we needed to start looking at some partners to help us and our clients get there. So just to put that S-curve into and some metrics behind it with some numbers, and you'll see it in 2016 where the public cloud revenue is and the addressable market. As we move into 2017, you'll see the growth there as well, but we're now at the inflection point, and so by 2020 you'll actually see $172 billion roughly is the estimate in the public cloud revenue, and then the addressable market will be up over $350 billion. So that's just, in about 3 years we're going to see that tremendous growth. And it's probably no surprise with the folks on this phone, the two biggest players in public cloud are Amazon and Microsoft Azure. And that's really where we are targeting our business in migrations to the public cloud for Amazon and Microsoft Azure. So with that background, let's talk a little bit about our channel focus. So I mentioned a few reasons earlier why we're so excited about partnering to capture this marketplace, but there's 3 other areas that we really want to talk about as well. We realize that the partners, especially the ones on the phone, you're the ones that are closest to the customer. You have the relationships with your enterprise clients, and that means a lot. I mean, you understand their business, you have all the legalities in place, like the signing of MSAs and non-disclosure agreements, and you kind of have it all set up so that you can actually go in and conduct business. And that's really something that is valuable to us. You also have the brand recognition with your clients as well. And then together, with our expertise in migration services and our sales force and your sales force and our marketing and all the other type of infrastructure, we can actually together develop a highly leveraged model. So let's talk a little bit about Racemi. As I said, we've been working quite a few years for the opportunity that is in front of us now as we move at that 20% inflection point to the high growth that we're going to be experiencing starting here shortly. But as you can see, we've put a lot into this, and the Racemi platform is actually built for migrations, built from the ground up. And we understand the pitfalls, and we've got the lessons learned. We have the scars, and I'll just typical pitfall. There could be networking issues that you have to get around that we've experienced, and that's what you draw upon when you partner with us. You have that expertise from doing over 70,000 workloads and strong R&D with over 400 clients. And there's a reference here that AWS did a 6-month evaluation of migration solutions and selected Racemi as the leading tool for cloud migration. And we also have an establishment of a partner network already that we're very excited about, and we're doing some great things with. So I just want to make that point about, because we're in this business, this is all we do, we're very good at it. We understand what it takes to migrate workloads, and that lowers your risk. So let's kind of position now, if we're going to partner together, who's doing what, right? So let's talk about where our focus is. Our focus is in the rehosting and the replatforming. And that's about 70% of the workloads that are out there ready to move. 2020. In fact, we estimate there's approximately 15 million workloads in the replatforming, rehosting space that are ready to go to public cloud. And where we specialize is in x86 servers, Windows, and Linux space. And you can see from the slide here the type of workloads that is represented in that Windows and Linux x86 environment. Now, there's other, everyone understands like the 5 R's. Where we will partner and kind of bring our strengths together with the partner is, our channel partner is in the refactoring. You have professional services, you'll do architecture work, and you also, most importantly, provide the managed services. So our job is to move it to the public cloud, for you to manage it, which is a main revenue source for you, in addition to the other areas of services I just mentioned. So you kind of look at, based on our history and what it's taken for us to build this this competency. And a lot of you out there and a lot of the partners that we've talked about are kind of making a decision between, okay, do we build our own migration competency? And we have had early conversations with partners who have told us that that's what they want to do, only to come back and tell us that perhaps that's not the wisest decision. And I'll just pictorially just show you kind of what you're looking at here. If you decide to build your own, let's just start at the beginning, right? Okay, so today you decide you're going to build your own. You're really not going to be able to deliver any migration services and get them over to the public cloud for you to manage for at least 6 months, because you are still building out your competency, right? And to build that competency, you have got to hire a number of engineers. You've got to hire project managers. You've got to get them trained, and there's a number of of personnel and infrastructure investments that you have to make before you even can attempt to start moving client workloads to the public cloud. And so you're going to have a minimum delay, and so that cost is shown by the light blue line in the left side. And so you're not going to be able to really generate any revenue. And I think this is conservative. We have it like at 6 months. It may be even longer than that before you're able to generate revenue, because you still have to include the sales cycle in all of that. You really, and what we've experienced too is that when we talk to clients about moving their workloads to the cloud, they're not necessarily ready to move day one as well. There is a process you have to go through when working with clients to get the project off the ground and to start generating revenue. So, 6 months is conservative. I think everyone on the phone pretty has their own idea of what the model should look like. And then staying on the left-hand side where you see the blue solid area there, that's your MSP revenue that you'll start collecting once you're able to move the workload over to the public cloud. So you just have to keep in mind, if you want to build your own migration competency, you're going to have to understand what the investments are and what the delay in revenue is. And by the time you've kind of figured it out and built the competency, that 20% inflection point with the tremendous growth from early adopters to the early majority, you're going to miss out on a good chunk of that growth while you're trying to build your competency. Now, on the right-hand side, it is a representative of partnering with Racemi, the migration expert. So your main source of revenue is the managed services business, right? And of course, you've got the refactoring, you've got the other professional services that you can add to the customer engagement. You can start collecting revenue day one. And by the way, there are no upfront investments in building out the competency, because we're plugging right into your model, right? We are with you. We plug into your SOW that you present to the client. You use our migration experts to actually get this off the ground, our tools, and we can get you day one over to the public cloud, where you can start capturing that managed service revenue right away. So you can just see the contrast between build your own and partnering with someone who's already built this out, what the opportunity is in front of you. So that kind of leads up to me saying, we really are interested in being your expert migration partner. We do this extremely well. We understand that you have your own competencies as well. If we marry our competencies together and we stick with what is core to us and we jointly go into the client together, we both win. So let's just talk a little bit about the program. Some core principles. First of all, we are not going to be out searching for a large number of partners. This is going to be a very exclusive group to us. We want to look at a small number of partners that we really have a lot of confidence in, the MSP, the hybrid MSPs, hybrid hosters, who really have their act together in the marketplace. And we want to do business with you guys. And we're going to hold the program to a very finite number of partners so that you get the best of our experts focused on your opportunities with your clients, right? And so then you focus your investment on the things that provide the most benefit. You've got the sales force, right? We'll do the heavy lifting around the execution of the migration. There's an increased rewards for a number of value-added investments that you make. For example, and I'll get to this in a minute, you could receive up to 25% in margin for doing certain things, like, for example, going through the training and enablement with us, being able to deliver a migration presentation, reaching the 2,000 workload milestone. I mean, these are all things that I'll take you through in a moment, but you will continue to get rewarded for the value that you add in our partnership. And you're not, especially in the beginning, we're not going to cut you adrift. You're going to get some very high-touch mentoring from us. You're going to get our best people out there working with your salespeople and helping get the deals closed. You're going to get our architects to help explain to the client how it all works. So there's going to be an awful lot of shoulder-to-shoulder selling with you and your sellers until you get to a point where you're fairly self-sufficient, and then you call us in for, maybe you get to a point where it's the exception, where you really need some deep expertise or some selling expertise, and you call us in for those. So, so the fifth principle is really the most important. We are not going to compete with you. Now, before we announced this program last month, we did direct deals. We were working directly with clients. We are not doing that anymore. It's a 100% channel-only model. So you can bank on that we are not going to suddenly become a competitor of yours. Another thing we're doing, just based on our expertise and some lessons learned in doing this for a while, is that I think we really need to simplify the business of cloud migration. There were too many moving parts and parameters and variables, and a lot of times it was just confusing to a customer when we were presenting all the different options. We've kind of cut back on all of that, and we've pre-packaged solutions at fixed prices to make it simple for everyone to understand, not only Racemi people and our partners, but also the clients. And what's really cool about this is that this SKU-based bundled offering that we have, you can actually start migrations for as low as $675 per workload. Now, that's not the street price. That would be the price to the partner, the cost to the partner. And the street price that we're seeing out there right now is anywhere between $900 and $1,100 per workload. It's up to the partner to price that solution however they see fit with the client. But you'll be guaranteed the price from Racemi. So this just gets your customers to the cloud faster. They understand what you're trying to present. So I'll talk a little bit about each one. We have a fixed price for the application migrations. We have a discovery and application rationalization bundle. We have a technology bundle with licensing and support. We have a quick start program, and then we also will customize certain options to come up with a bundle working with the partner. As I mentioned before, you'll be able to earn points to maximize the margin when partnering with us. So, right out the bat, you'll get 5 points for just sourcing and registering a customer in the deal. You can deliver a sales pitch. You're able to complete a proposal template, which kind of lays out all the details that's required for us to help you solution the offering to the client. And then once you're done with the onboarding, an extra 5 points. And then when you reach the 2,000 workloads, you get another 5 points. So that adds up to 25 points of margin. And as you'll see down here in the additional information, that in order to get you started and out of the gate and be able to make some profit here, we're going to on your first deals, and we'll decide on how many that is. We'll get you to the 20% margin right out of the gate, so that we can both get some success under our belts. So I'll just take you through a quick example. Just take a total customer environment of 1,000 workloads. 70% of these, as I mentioned before, are rehosts, replatform. And let's just say that 80% are non-complex, 20% are complex. So there's a little bit of a blended price that we have to put into this, because the complex are a little bit higher than the non-complex in cost to the partner. So let's just say the 700 workloads. The bundle price is about $833 to you, the partner. You're able to price it over $1,000 a workload, which gives you a $194,000 profit margin, and we do actually the migration work. We move it over to you. As you look at the box under the results, you get the 25% margin, and this is what I really want to focus on. Not only do you get the migration revenue and the profit, you actually also get the annual revenue or the subscription from managing the customer's workloads that have been moved over using the Racemi services. You also have revenue that you'll be able to reap from just refactoring and other professional services, such as the cloud assessment that you can offer to your client. So really what we're saying is, with us, you'll be able to get to revenue and get to profit a lot faster by leveraging a partner like Racemi, and we consider ourselves the leader in the industry. So let me just kind of finish up here with just kind of going through the benefits again. As I said before, we're going to accelerate the customer's cloud journey and speed up your revenue and profit a lot sooner. That you can focus on the managed services business and get that annual revenue from the subscriptions. You'll be able to reap the services business that I just mentioned, and leveraging us, you'll be profitable day one. Instead of trying to build this competency yourself, you'll leverage us and get to that 25% or higher margins, depending on how you want to price it. We have the easy SKU-based fixed price solution that will integrate right into your offerings. We have migration experts that you'll be able to use right away, and that lowers your risk, and also allows you to focus on other things and not have to invest in the hiring of these experts. We have them. We can move workloads faster to AWS and Azure than anyone in the marketplace. That gets you to that MSP recurring revenue. And you'll also be assigned a relationship manager, a partner account manager, and that partner account manager will be your focal point and will help you with developing the joint business and marketing plan. And we also have market development funds that could be available. We also could talk about how do we incent your sales force. We can work on that as well as part of our joint marketing and business plan. So And then lastly, to get you out of the gate, not only are you going to get shadowing from our team, a lot of hand-holding, we'll ensure that you maximize the discounting from Racemi to get you to at least a 20% margin or higher.